be a championship team.
They've outmatched them. That's surprising to you. Let me correct it. That's surprising to you. Not surprising to me. Not surprising to other people that have been watching the Timberwolves. Yes, they were the third seed, right next to the second seed, and they could have been the first seed. I don't know how this is a surprise to people. And then when you go into the playoffs, you got to understand this is big boy ball. This isn't small ball. This is big ball. It's a different world. And you look at the roster, and you look at the size. How's Joker gonna cover every single player? What's Murray gonna do? He's tiny. Their team's tiny. Like I said earlier, the Minnesota Timberwolves used to do that stuff. The Minnesota Wild used to do that stuff. We got to be faster. We're just going to be small and fast. No, that's not how you win playoff games. Minnesota learned from years and years of watching Philly. We seen what you do, Philly. Detroit. All these teams, like the Wings, like all the, like Detroit, what I'm talking about is like hockey. But, you know, I'm talking about teams, Avalanche, use size as their advantage. Now, do they have the better regular season? No, they don't. They end up right in the middle of the pack. So everybody's like, oh, I don't know, I don't know. But everybody has known this about Minnesota. Everybody knows. And this is why everyone's so concerned that they lose. Because we ain't got that dog on us. We ain't hungry enough. We just want one championship, please. May we have one? But they don't understand what the new us is. The new Minnesota, the fans, the players, everything. We're not asking anymore. We're taking it. We're taking championships. We're getting rings. Okay? Whether this is the Minnesota Vikings, the Timberwolves, the Twinkies. I don't know how the NHL season's going to pan out, but no more. We're changing culture here, and if you haven't noticed, we've been changing culture for the last decade. We built a new stadium for our football team, separating it so that other players can have other stuff. We built practice fields out in Mankato. Target Center is massively, it's so nice. They got so much stuff. And I'm telling you that we don't just want one anymore. We want multiples. And anyone that couldn't foresee the Timberwolves being an overwhelming match for the roster of the Nuggets was just basically on the Nuggets, okay? Sucking on them Nuggets. That's what you were doing. Get the Nuggets out of your mouth and taste reality. Because reality tastes like Anthony Edwards.
I think the main thing, they're playing the Joker one-on-one. The Nuggets don't have two guys who can get their own shots.
Nuggets don't have two guys that can get their own shots, that's what he said.
Look at the team.
Yeah, that's it.
Just say that negatively, they won a championship last year. Yeah, because when guys...
yeah, but you don't understand how they won a championship. Charles does. He just doesn't know how to express himself. Gosh, dang it.
Porter doesn't get shots on his own. He gets shots off Joker's double.
You have to understand, yes, players play off other players. And if we isolate certain players and they can't match up, how are they going to get off of someone else's ball? How are they going to get that assist? They can't. You have to realize you're dealing with a team that's all monsters. It's like the Monstars, okay? It's very similar to the Monstars in Space Jam. Yeah, those dudes. Like when you got a bunch of tiny little dudes and then you got all these huge dudes, okay? Now, in Disney and in fairy tale land, that works out. Yeah, it works. In the playoffs, no. And you say, why couldn't the Timberwolves do this last year? Because Rudy had to have a couple years with the team, get used to it. Cat had to get used to it. And Ant had to start, filling into his own. He's 21, turning 22 or whatever. He's a young man. But when you got Naz Reid coming off the bench like that, tearing it up, Mike McConnell, Minnesota Mike ripping it up, and, Alexander Reed or whatever, like all of them dudes, they were, I think Alexander Reed's the smallest guy, and let's just get the roster sizes here. I'm tired of the debate here. Let's just, I'm glad that Chuck can see it. Chuck has seen it since the beginning. He said, I told you, do you not see them guys? They are not the underdogs. They are the dogs. Period. Gosh, some of these are really good clips. That voice note that I said before and this one. Whoo, those are fire.